Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have 44 plots farming. I have additional 4 that just completed on my little Lenovo i7 machine that's running SSD 1TB with the operating system and doing the swap files on the same partition. Not recommended, but it actually works. So I'll definitely show some insight into that a little bit later. But today I have some interesting news, some comparisons I want to do, and hopefully you guys can stick around for that. Stay with me. Alright, let's just first start off. I want to mention kit salt. And you're going to wonder, what the hell is kit salt? Well, from this title that you can see, it's a ghost town where lights are still on, but no one's home. So it was an abandoned mining facility. It's an abandoned town, ghost town, back in, I believe right here, 1979. They were mining for molybdenum. You're going to wonder, what does this have to do with Chia? Well, it's going to relate. Let me just get to it. But let me just explain really briefly what molybdenum was used for, or what it is used for. It's to make alloys. It says right here, I highlighted it. It is used in steel alloy to increase shrink hardness, electrical conductivity, and resistance to corrosion and wear. All right, so that's the short end of it. Of course, it probably can do a lot more stuff. So just check this out and stay with me for a minute. Don't stare off, because this comes back right down to Chia. So let's just check out really quick. You can read all about it. I'll link this article, and there's a whole bunch of other articles. There's YouTube videos on this whole ghost town. I love looking into ghost town. I love looking into dead malls. So basically, they built this entire facility to house the families and the workers in the mining for molybdenum. Look at these. There's a shopping center, there's a dentist, there's schools, there's libraries. Like, all this was left untouched. Why? They were used, but they were not used even remotely 1% of it, because it was built during the late 70s, and they evacuated 2 years later. Why would they do that? Well, because it comes to a point where doing something, is it profitable, or was it worth doing anymore? And that leads me into Chia in a way, because what I'm going to show you next is, hey, I remember this, or wow, that is interesting. The comparison is so similar. So my next thing I want to talk about, going off tangent from kit salt, is you can spend all this money mining for something, but it doesn't always work out. Last night, in the last few days, and within all my videos, I've been, thinking like, hey, should I invest in another rig? The i9s look to be very promising. It has 16 threads, 8 cores. I could do so much. I can plot so much more and get so much going on in the farming. But then there's a cost to that. I mean, I already spent X amount of dollars. I would say roughly maybe around $2,000 for a new rig. And I've been buying hard drives on the pretty consistent. 8 terabytes, 10 terabytes, 16 terabytes. So I've been replenishing, and I haven't even filled up one yet. I'm so eager, I'm so bullish right now that almost feels like this facility. Look at these, like the basketball court probably doesn't even have a basketball mark on it, because it was never even used. Look at the libraries. It was like pristine condition. So there was a gentleman that bought this whole town as is over. It's located in Canada, and again, I'll list the details. I don't want to bombard crypto guys with history lessons such as this, right? You guys can look into it if you're interested, but it's an extreme ghost town. So just think about it. I spent a few $1,000s. You guys could have spent a few $1,000s or a couple $100 more buying hard drives. That's a small price to pay compared to building entire community just for 2 years later to say we're not profiting. I think we cut our losses and we just move on our way. What actually really happened, I think, in kit salt, and if as far as I can remember, and I have read it way back, just refreshing my own memory, was that they feared that there was something dangerous in the area. It was something leaking, and they had to do an emergency evacuation. That's how they lost everything, meaning all the structures and everything was in place, but the people actually had to leave and they couldn't go back anymore. That's a long story short. But let's get off of that topic right now. So why am I talking about that? So now it comes down to Burst Coin. I saw a few videos. It has the same concepts, same theories. It's running hard drives to mine for Burst Coin. Burst Coin has a current value of 0.1150 cents. Not bad. Not bad if you had taken consideration of where it started. I'm gonna see if there's actually a chart. Okay, so if you would have invested in mining or farming or whatever you want to call it for Burst Coin at that very moment, you would have had, wow, 0.000814 cents. And then at the peak of it, it almost hit 10 cents. So you can see that 0.099. Everyone during that time of 2017, 18, it had that peak. And it all came right back down, and today we're at 0.015. And this is Burst Coin. It had the same advertisement, similar. All right, I don't want to say the same. I know there's two different things. Bitcoin isn't Litecoin, blah, blah, blah. Can we utilize what we have today to mine at the same time while doing Chia for Burst Coin because there's a value, a price to it? You know what I mean? It might be a good thing. It might not even be feasible because we don't know. Just looking at the year to date, we have seen some traction with Burst Coin. Is it worth going into that if Chia, let's just say, does not work out well or does not have a value because Burst Coin does? I didn't look into Burst Coin and what the computation requirements are, but considering Burst Coin came out 2-3 years ago and how limited compared to what the processing and the hard drive and everything else hardware wise, all the technology has advanced 2-3 years ago from what it was then to now, maybe mining for Burst Coin would be a little bit more efficient than it was 3 years ago. I don't know. I've seen some videos. I didn't go all into it yet. It just kind of hit me while I was taking a shower. It's like, hey, wait a second. Why I keep thinking about spending more money on a rig for something that has no return yet? And I watched this video where this guy was doing his quitting Burst and then saying that he spent so much and the return was zero, close to, at this point it's not even a return of zero, it's a return of negative $2,000 or $2,500. So it is a high price right now. It is getting more expensive. Now, would it be worth it if let's just say I'm not saying anything negative about Chia. I'm bullish, I'm all for it, but what if Chia comes out IPO or the coin itself comes out 0.000001 cents, right? So if that happens, I'm thinking 2,000 here, potentially another 2,000 here to buy another rig and more hard drives. You know how many coins I could purchase just waiting for it to hit an exchange opposed to mining for something that right now it's not even mining to get something, it's mining to just get a lottery ticket to potentially get something. And that's where it's like all kicking in for me. Like I wish it was a way where we were plotting and farming and guaranteed that based on the amount of work you do, you actually will get back the returns. Some of you may argue the point and say, yeah, it is the more you do, the more you would get. No, it's really not, because it's not like the more seeds I actually plant, the more trees I'm going to grow. It's like the more seeds I plant, maybe one of them is going to grow. Like, it's the possibility of something might grow, not guaranteeing me that it would grow. So mining is different. It's almost like, all right, so back then people were mining for gold. You're not always guaranteed that you're going to find gold, right? For that day or for that week. That's possible. But it almost feels like, constant competition with others. Obviously, as the network grows, it becomes more difficult. There is some part of me that says, as the bigger guys go all in on their whole data center and farming Chia, the little guys are going to get left off with the short end of the stick. That always pops up in my mind, and it is a possibility, and I feel like that's a fact almost. Chia Network and Chia team themselves are saying that no, it's going to be even across the platform, whether you're a 2 terabyte holder with a plot and a farm or a couple thousand terabytes worth of storage and a plot and a farm. I guarantee you that 1,000 terabyte guy is probably going to be a lot better off than the 2 terabyte in regards to farming and mining and hopefully getting a coin. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much where I stand right now. Like, okay, so let's just say Chia doesn't work and it doesn't come out publicly, it doesn't get any exchange, and there's no value to it. Then what? Should I just convert over to Burst Coin? And since there is a small value to it, and I'm already gonna be at a loss. I know this is very early in the stages, but early in the stages doesn't mean you can't have a contingency plan. You can't have a backup plan. Being like an engineering and a technician and a security person, you always have to have a backup. What happens if your server goes down? What happens if your machine? Let's just say you have your primary machine right now, your primary rig that's mining or farming. I mean, plotting and farming for Chia. What happens if that goes down? You're not a corporation where, hey, just put on a credit card and we'll buy a new one and replace it. Or if it's out of warranty, you're not getting anything for free. You can't exchange it or get a replacement part anymore. So what do? Do you go out and spend another $2,000 or $3,000 on a rig, comparable or maybe potentially better than what you had to continue on, but continue on with a no return whatsoever, no ROI? Zero. Remember that. Zero. So yeah, there are a lot of things I have to think about in regards to this. And I'm hoping that you guys would take that in consideration as well, because I could tell you right now, if one of the 16 terabyte drives dies right now, considering they're all new, but some of you guys might have picked up old used hard drives for this project. And if that fails, what are you going to do? Go out there and buy another 16 terabyte hard drive? Or you may opt for the lower and say, okay, I'll just get an 8 terabyte, it'll be cheaper. But there's still a cost to that. And even that cost for 8 terabyte would probably be, I'm going to give a rough estimate, say $140, right? It could be like 130 something plus tax, blah, 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 150. Just make it even, $150. How much does this coin have to be worth in order to break even on $150? I didn't even do the calculation. I don't even want to do the calculation right now on how much Chia or any coin has to be worth for me to farm or mine to get my return to break even. That would be awesome if I did. And there was a calculation saying that Chia could be worth this much or this much. Very speculative. I don't think I can go by those numbers. I don't even want to look at those numbers. I saw a video where it said it can reach as high as 15,000 a coin. Very wishful thinking and very optimistic. That would be awesome. Right now, I won't hold my breath to say that it would be worth $15,000 a coin. But I am not giving up. This is not a I'm quitting Chia video. This is a wake up to reality. This is what we need to do in order to make up that lost difference if this does not work well. What are you going to do with all this hard drive space? You can sell it. You can, utilize it yourself. I can guarantee you I am not utilizing 3 16 terabytes, 2 10 terabytes, and 2 additional 8 terabytes of videos and home pictures. No way. No way. Even with all my YouTube video edits, I don't even want to save all my past raw video footages. After the finalized project, I just keep one file. At most, for the most part, if it's been uploaded to YouTube already, I don't even want to keep it around because, one, I didn't want to store all this unused data for X amount of time and just I feel like I'm wasting my money on storage to house things that I know I would not go back to, especially if it was finalized, it was edited, and it was already published to the public, meaning like YouTube. I highly doubt right now in my lifetime that there'll be another platform, and I wish I had the videos so I can upload it to this new platform besides YouTube. But then, of course, YouTube even allows you to re-download your own video content, whatever you had uploaded. I don't know, but I hope you guys, understand where I was coming from based on these this couple of things, my comparisons. Of course, one thing I wanted to also mention before I go is look at Burst Coin and look at the market cap. It's 23 million. And that was a 23 million on a non-successful coin. It's not successful. I can honestly say it's not successful. The success that it had is that it had a value to it. It's out on the exchange, but it didn't make it to the main market like how, potentially what it wanted to do, getting people into it, getting the coins with the hard drive space. So in one of my older videos, or one of my previous videos, I said Chia would be like, revolutionary, and 2 years ago it came about. It's the only, but then I backtracked and I say it was 99% because there was another token out there that used that hard drive space to farm or mine, and it's Burst Coin. You can take my 2 cents, you can run with it, you can say, no, screw you, Chia is gonna be #1. I hope so as well. I'm deep into this with this whole project. I love doing it. So we'll see. I want to thank you guys for being here. Hopefully we can come back and have more discussions like this, and hopefully I can find out more things, and let's see my thoughts on it. All right. See you guys again soon. Bye.